Hello everyone and welcome back to Pride of Anglia, here with Norwich City at the start of Season 10. We're into totally uncharted territory here folks, 4 straight years of Norwich City in the Premier League, and now we're in Europe too. After last year's excellent campaign we find ourselves with even more matches to play. Will the European distraction cause a domestic collapse? I mean inevitably yes, but let's hope not. Now it's going to be an interesting summer. While the first 11 is largely solid, with a European campaign on the horizon we really need to strengthen the overall squad. And we only have 68 million to do it with. Tyreek Backinson has been a reliable performer in our time here, but he asked for a new challenge and a new challenge he shall receive. We pocket 9.5 million from Crystal Palace. Ben Wilmot was leaving on a free anyway, so to get 40k from Aberdeen is better than that. Pedro Pelagio also departs at a massive loss, £825,000 to Troy, one of the worst signings of our tenure for sure. Alexander Sorloth and Dale Fry will also both be departing on frees to Dinamo Kiev and Vancouver Whitecaps respectively. After a few annoying rejections, we make our first signings. The wonderfully named Zidane Zertdemir joins for 8.5 million from Fortuna Dusseldorf. He will replace Backinson as the backup for Calderon. He's left-footed, which suits the role perfectly. I feel his attributes are well suited to our system. We also signed Taco Vilquis, who you may recall turned us down last summer, as our new centre-back option for the now vastly inflated 12.25 million from RKC, this Dutch name. He's only 19 but he's 5-star potential with a lot of really nice attributes. And once again we only release unwanted regens. It's an extremely frustrating summer, not just for players rejecting us, but also just the sheer lack of players available of any quality at all. Like they just don't exist in certain positions. We do make hopefully another successful purchase from the Greek Super League. Philip Ronigan Jorgensen joins from Olympiacos for £16 million. I felt we needed a little bit more quality in the deep line playmaker role. He has excellent passing, is solid defensively and has well-rounded mentals. Apparently he's a little bit injury prone, but I hope he'll be okay. Away from transfer issues, Andrea Papetti wins his first cap for Italy at the World Cup. It's in the third place playoff, which they lose, but still a Norwich player on the Italian national side. What scenes! For those keeping score, France won the tournament. Oh, and Josue Calderon came third in goal of the tournament as well. Just the elite honours here. I was checking out the favoured personnel and saw that Papetti was now in that as well, which is nice. Not me though. I've only kept this side in the division for 3 years and got them into Europe, but that's not good enough apparently. Anyway, attempting to sign some left-sided cover for defence for a reasonable fee, and crucially someone who doesn't expect to play every single second of football, is like getting blood from a stone. So I opt for the most sensible possible deal, and that is Wisdom Amy on loan from RB Leipzig with an option to buy for 17 million. He's excellent and will be a perfect third choice as he can play on either side of central defence. We then signed Michael Hartman from Feyenoord for £7 million to compete with Katterbach at left back. He could be excellent, basically one of only literally 3 regen left backs I could find who can defend and have even passable attacking attributes, so for that price it's a no-brainer. Another Dane as well, which is nice. And we signed another Italian, as Adamida hasn't asked to leave but is unhappy with his playing time, so I figured the replacement for Sorloth should be someone who could potentially replace him as well. So that is Domenico Tocconi from Roma for £8 million. Very quick, fairly decent in the key areas, nothing crazy but could develop well. He scored 11 goals at the under-21 Euros for what that's worth. As a result of these moves, we sell Leandro Diaz to Levante for 1.9 million, a tiny bit of profit there. And oh hello, England had a terrible Euros and sacked Ernesto Valverde, and look who they finally want. Italy as well. Well, I did say if the FA ever offered me the job, I would take it. I won't put any games in with much focus unless we get to a semi-final or something, but I wouldn't mind the variety and free scouting of English players. Ebert Williams never really been awful, but he's never really done much, and so we wish him well as he departs to Internacional for 4.7 million, a small profit there as well. Our final major signing is to recruit another left winger. Fignato's contract is up next year and he won't be getting a work permit, so let's plan ahead with yet another Dane, our 5th one. Marco Like joins from Lyon for £8 million. Now, clearly he currently has no experience playing on the left, but his attributes are an extremely good fit for doing so. Dribbling, finishing, pace, acceleration, technique, yeah, I think he'll be fine. And finally we signed Chilean youngster Alex Rodriguez for 2.1 million, one for the future. After pre-season, the media have only gone and increased us to 12th in their predictions for this year. Amazing. Our opening set of fixtures is once again pretty tough, although we do have leads on the opening day. The initial lineup will be as it was last season, save for one change. Hansen in goal, Katterbach, Benjalul, Papetti and Bogle in defence, although Katterbach got injured yesterday so we'll miss this one. Ramsey may end up usurping Bogle, we'll see. Ronigan is the only change in midfield with Alexandropoulos and Calderon. De Koning and Stopford Smith are on the wings, and the main man McCrory is of course up front. Calderon has an early free kick which is saved well, and then we proceed to dominate the match without too many amazing chances. Leeds then have their first highlight, and Hansen's goalkeeping leaves a lot to be desired as they take the lead. As we press forwards in search of an equaliser, they instead make it 2 from a simple corner, and we lose at home on the opening day. An absolute disgrace. What are the extra 7 season ticket holders going to think about that? An improvement against Spurs would be good, and the performance is, but we still lose to an unjust injury time goal. Some questionable VAR decisions cost us as well. Like does get his first goal though. Our Europa League draw is not bad actually, all things considered. Feyenoord, Rangers and Legia Warsaw. And then we end the month with a must-win game against Aston Villa, which we don't win. We actually take the lead, but then they equalise thanks to Hansen's terrible goal kick, and for his sake he saves a penalty to at least ensure we don't lose. So we get our first point, but we are still in the relegation zone. At least I win my first game with England, that's nice. The quest for a first Premier League win of the season continues away at Manchester City. I'm not hopeful. And yeah, we're absolutely awful. I'm not sure what exactly has gone wrong so far this year. Is it the tactic? We just seem individually to be awful. It sets us up terribly for our first European game against Feyenoord, and it is another suitably terrible performance. We don't have a highlight at all, and quite how Feyenoord don't score I don't know, but thankfully they don't. I was actually quite optimistic about this season. Hopefully a team meeting will sort it out. We have Leicester at home next. Can we get a win? We make a great start as Bogle crosses for Stopford Smith to send us in front, but then soon after the defence decide to stand around waiting for a bus as they equalise. And then this is great. We hit the post, and from this same highlight they go and score. McCrory can then only hit the post from our own effort, clearly now utterly useless for some reason, and then they make it 3-1. And we lose at home again. What are you even supposed to say? We've been top for XG in all 3 home games and we've lost all of them. We don't even get a morale boosting League Cup win as we get Man United and they play a full strength side. Even the stairs going up to the bedrooms guy is criticising me now. It's all going terribly, and look, we have Chelsea next. Fantastic. 2/3 of the midfield is injured as well. This is not going to go, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. How do you explain anything we've seen so far this season? We absolutely crushed them. A wonderful display akin to last year. And we do that away from home against Chelsea when we can't beat Leicester at home. Certainly much needed though, although we are still in the relegation zone. But hey, Liverpool are just ahead, so not all bad. I think if McCrory hadn't developed some kind of anti-goal disease, we'd probably be in a more expected position, but that always seems to happen to me with any striker off the back of an excellent campaign. I guess it sums up the season that the one guy I replaced from last year's starting 11 wins Young Player of the Month for September. Anyway, let's try and win in Europe as well. Rangers are next, and at least we don't lose. Defensively, much better. We have Brentford afterwards, and as one of only 2 teams with a worse start than us, I'm actually confident we can get a win here. We come forwards early and Stopford Smith scores, but it's ruled offside. But we keep going and the ball comes into the box where Calderon's shot hits 2 defenders, allowing De Koning to put us in front. We absolutely dominate the game with chance after chance, another offside, and we hit the woodwork, but we can't add to our lead. And then Brentford have their first attack, and the defence literally just stands there while Trincao waltzes through and scores a wonder goal. And then they may as well not be there when Roden puts Brentford in front, and we lose at home again. How have we lost that game from there? I don't think it's anything tactical. We're creating chances, it's just utterly embarrassing incompetence from these fictional players. We're going to get sacked over here if we're not careful. We then go and beat Newcastle with an extremely solid display before annihilating Legia 8-0 in the Europa League, and then finally winning at Carrow Road 3-0 against Burnley, with McCrory scoring his first of the season. I mean, where the hell has this form been? I have tweaked it a tiny bit, putting the wing backs on defend and swapping the winger duties around, but seriously, we jump to 12th. Maybe I just shouldn't record for a bit though. Liverpool are next, and they have of course had a worse start than us, and we nearly beat them. 2-2, never bad to get a draw against them though. We can only draw away at Legia, so our Europa League group is in the balance, and then there's West Brom. We always lose against West Brom, but not today. A goal from Jorgensen is all we need to grab the win as our improvement continues. Patience is the key apparently. I actually fined Hansen 2 weeks' wages after the Brentford game. It seems to have had the desired effect. We move to a far more stable 11th place, and then we go and cruise our Nations League group with England. We have Swansea next, they're dead last. I think I might even record this, you know. What could go wrong? I bring in Marco Like to the starting lineup as he has impressed so far, and he impresses again, winning the ball back and then receiving it to unleash a thunderbolt to put us in front. We do love offsides this season, and also the woodwork, but we look way more composed and see it out for another win. 5 unbeaten now, and it's a win that sends us into the top half for the first time this season, and our first recorded win as well. It's November, although it does end with that run coming to an end with a disappointing collapse against Rangers. Ben Jalal wins Young Player of the Month, the only thing we are consistently good at. We face Bournemouth and we lose, of course, because there's no consistency there, but West Ham are next and I tentatively hit record and we're actually pretty good. After the customary offside goal, Jorgensen clips it forwards for Stopford-Smith to head us in front as he so often does. We have more chances, we weather their attacks, and in the second half McCrory, who I've dropped a little deeper, slides in the returning Calderon to lash home a second, and we see it out for the win. We're just outside the European places. Who would have thought that after that awful start? And then we immediately follow it up by losing at home to Everton. Great, we take on Feyenoord in our final Europa League group game and we need a win to make the knockouts. This doesn't look likely when they take the lead from a corner in the first half. We have plenty of chances to equalise and eventually the old swing ball to Stopford-Smith yields fruit, but it doesn't matter what else we throw at them, we can't find a way through. 1-1, we finish third. Have I mentioned my love for the Conference League? We get Bromby in the knockouts. We do then beat Watford with McCrory scoring his second of this season, and then we beat Arsenal as he gets 3 and 4. Excellent, where have you been, James? He's at it again as we draw away at Man United. We nearly win, but we always lose against them, so I'll take a draw. We go up to 7th, and then we are absolutely trashed by Brighton. We were 3-0 down 6 minutes in. Hansen with a performance worthy of contract termination, and yet we still won on the XG, which really is the story of the season so far, my god. Let's just wrap this up, shall we? We end with Newcastle. Who knows what it'll be? Yeah, a mind-numbing 0-0, which I'm glad I didn't record. We end the year in 10th, our worst first half of the season by a country mile, and clearly our total failure to score goals is the issue. Like is our top scorer with 6. Hopefully next time things will be better. They can't exactly get worse, unless we get relegated. For reference, we need 40 points in the second half of the season to match last year's tally. I can't see it happening. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.